Understanding Buffer Overflows Vulnerabilities. Héctor Borges, Jorge Vera, Alexander Castillo. Paper Part B Presentation. Buffer overflows. A common security vulnerability occurs when a program attempts to store more data than its designed memory space can handle. This excess of data can overflow into adjacent memory areas, leading to serious consequences. One of the most significant impacts of buffer overflows is remote code execution, allowing attackers to gain unauthorized access or control of a system. Privilege escalation is another potential threat, enabling attackers to perform actions they would normally be restricted from. Denial of service attacks can also be launched through buffer overflows, rendering systems unresponsive. Despite widespread knowledge of buffer overflows, these attacks remain prevalent due to their effectiveness. To mitigate the risks associated with buffer overflows, developers must implement robust input validation, safe memory allocation techniques, and stay up to date on the latest security best practices. Types of buffer overflows. Buffer overflows can occur in various ways, each with its unique characteristics. Stack-based overflows happen when a function return address is overridden, potentially leading to the execution of malicious code. Heap-based overflows involve overflowing buffers allocated on the heap, which can be exploited to gain unauthorized access or control. Integer overflows occur when arithmetic operation exceeds the range of a data type, resulting in unexpected behavior or vulnerabilities. Unicode overflows happen when too many Unicode characters are stored in a buffer designed for ASCII, potentially leading to data corruption or security breaches. Understanding these different types of buffer overflows is crucial for developing effective mitigation strategies. Exploitation techniques. Exploiters use various techniques to exploit buffer overflows vulnerabilities. Fusing involves flooding a program with unexpected input to identify vulnerabilities. Reverse engineering analyzes the program's behavior to understand its internal working and potential weaknesses. Exploit development involves creating custom code to exploit the vulnerability and gain control. Return-oriented programming, or ROP, is a technique that reuses existing code fragments to execute malicious code. Heap spraying involves allocating large amounts of memory to control the heap layout and increase the likelihood of successful exploitation. Understanding this technique is essential for security professionals to defend against buffer overflows attacks.
Defense mechanisms. To prevent buffer overflow attacks, security professionals employ various mitigation techniques. Static analysis involves examining source code for potential vulnerabilities before the program is executed. Dynamic analysis monitors the program's behavior during runtime to detect suspicious activity. Compiler-based techniques use compilers to enforce safe memory practices and prevent buffer overflows. Runtime protection involves implementing techniques like stack canaries, address space layout randomization, and data execution prevention to detect and prevent exploits. By combining these techniques, developers can significantly reduce the risk of buffer overflow attacks. SL Mail Server. The case study explores a buffer overflow vulnerability in the POP3 password field of the SL Mail application. By fuzzing the application with various input values and analyzing its behaviors, attackers can identify the exact conditions that trigger the buffer overflow. Reverse engineering techniques can be used to understand the internal workings of the application and develop custom exploit code to gain unauthorized access or execute malicious commands. To mitigate the risk of buffer overflow attacks in SL Mail and similar applications, several countermeasures can be implemented. These include input validation, safe memory allocation, security updates, code review, and security awareness training. The role of programming languages. C and C++ are powerful languages known for their flexibility, but they are also susceptible to buffer overflow vulnerabilities due to their manual memory management. Safe languages like Rust and Java, on the other hand, offer built-in memory safety features that prevent these types of attacks. To effectively mitigate buffer overflow risk, it's essential to consider language-specific mitigation techniques. For example, in C and C++, developers can use techniques like safe string functions and bounds checking to prevent buffer overflow. In languages like Rust, the compiler enforces memory safety rules, making it more difficult to enter these vulnerabilities. Modern exploitation techniques. While buffer overflows are a common vulnerability, attackers also employ other techniques to exploit systems. Side-channel attacks use indirect measures like timing or power consumption to extract sensitive information. Return-oriented programming reuses existing code fragments to execute malicious code, bypassing security measures. Heap spraying involves allocating large amounts of memory to control the heap layout and increase the likelihood of successful exploitation. Understanding these techniques is essential for developing effective defenses against advanced attacks.
To detect and prevent buffer overflows attack, security professionals employ advanced techniques, such as machine learning algorithms can be applied to analyze program behavior and identify anomalies that may indicate an attack. Behavior analysis involves monitoring a program's action for signs of exploitation, such as unusual memory access pattern or an unexpected cause. Hybrid approaches combine static and dynamic analysis for comprehensive detection. By leveraging the strength of both techniques, security teams can improve their ability to identify and mitigate buffer overflow vulnerabilities. These advanced methods are essential for staying ahead of evolving threats and ensuring the security of critical systems. Furthermore, buffer overflows in IoT devices present unique challenges due to their limited resources and often compromise security. Cloud-based attacks target vulnerabilities in the cloud infrastructure to gain unauthorized access or control over sensitive data. Supply chain attacks focus on exploiting vulnerabilities in third-party components, compromising the security of the entire system. Understanding these emerging threats is crucial for developing effective mitigation strategies and protecting critical systems. So what are the best practices for developers? To prevent overflow attacks, developers must adopt safe coding practices. This includes avoiding unsafe functions, using bounds and checking to ensure data doesn't exceed allocated memory, and regularly updating software and libraries with security patches. Code reviews by peers can also help identify potential vulnerabilities and improve overall code quality. By following the best practices, developers can significantly reduce the risk of buffer overflow attacks and create more secure applications. To conclude, buffer overflows continue to possess a significant threat to the security of software systems. Understanding the various exploitation techniques used by attackers is crucial for developing effective defenses. A combination of static analysis, dynamic analysis, and runtime protection is essential to detect and prevent buffer overflow vulnerabilities. As attackers continually evolve their techniques, ongoing research and development are necessary to stay ahead of emerging threats and secure the security of critical systems.